Okay, my name is Juanita Gonzalez, and I am a graduate student at Houston Baptist University, and I am currently completing my practicum studies here at Berry Elementary um, alongside Ms. Samora Davis, educational diagnostician here with HISD. And you can go ahead and introduce yourself
Yes,
again.
my name is Samora Davis. I actually completed my undergrad at Houston Baptist University, so it's great to get to work with a fellow student. I have been a diagnostician for 5 years. My first year as a Diag was in Cyfair ISD, and I've been in HISD for 4 of those years. And I work as a bilingual diagnostician as well. And I currently have 3 campuses that I'm the case manager for. And then in addition to that, I also complete bilingual testing for students.
Okay, and I have to say it has been a great experience being exposed to the actual field work, getting a feel for how the job is done, how things run on a regular basis. You know, from day one to from testing to actually meeting students, and I do have to say it's a good experience. I have a few questions that I wanted to ask Ms. Davis, and I wanted to share with everyone. First of all, what inspired you to pursue this career?
Well, I actually was a former Spanish teacher, and I was looking for something else. I was kind of experiencing the 7 year teacher burnout that everyone talks about, and wanted to go into a different field. I had a parent who was in the program, a parent of one of my students, and she said, you'd be great, you're bilingual, and I really think you should look into it. And so I did. I kind of did some research. I talked with my campus diagnostician and asked a few questions about it, and I didn't really know a whole lot about special ed, but I definitely wanted to learn. And so that's kind of what got me into the program. And once I started, I just loved it automatically.
And I can definitely relate to that. That's how I started out and got familiar with this field. I was 5 year teacher, bilingual teacher, and I saw every day, year after year, I saw the need. There's a great need for diagnosticians, especially bilingual diagnosticians in the field. 'Cause there's so many students that are being misdiagnosed, underdiagnosed, overdiagnosed,
Right.
and we have to take charge of that and try to help meet the needs of the kids. Okay, let's go on to our next question here. Um, how many years have you been employed? You said as an EdDiag?
Yes, for 5 years.
5 years just with HISD?
4 with HISD. My first year was with Cyfair ISD.
Fair. Okay, great. Just wanted to make a note of that. With your experience, what would you say is the most important aspect of this career?
I definitely think having strong communication skills, you will find that you're often the go to person for anything related to special ed, whether it's in your job description or not. And so your area of expertise is specific and very important. And so it's important that you're able to communicate what you do know with school staff and with the parents and with even with the student. It's important to know, how everyone operates and for everyone to know how you operate, so that you can actually get things done and get kids serviced. And so it's really important that you learn how to communicate in different ways with different people in order to accomplish your main goal, which is ultimately to service the campus. Of course, your skills as a diagnostician are extremely important. You are often the only one at the table who can explain your testing data or the evaluation that you did, and being able to communicate how all of it links together in order to figure out what the child's disability is and how to help them is extremely important. So that's why what you do is important.
Absolutely. So definitely communication is key in this career. Let's go on to our last question for today. What would you recommend to new and upcoming diagnosticians?
Definitely, I would recommend, soaking up everything that you learn in class as well, but also trying to get as much real life experience as you can. I've had many practicum students and interns that I've worked with, and a lot of them will come back, in the summer before they start actually working and work with me just to get the experience and exposure of actually testing in real life. And seeing what your diagnostician goes through from day to day, because it's different
Mhm.
in every school district.
Right.
Every role is different. And especially here in HISD, we're not required to do any ARG paperwork necessarily. And so our role is more focused on the actual evaluation part. And other districts are kind of the chairperson and the Diag. So I would say, to just try and link up with someone, either the person you did your practicum with or someone on your campus, and just try and shadow them as much as you can. I think that, what you learn in class just gives you a good foundation
The
of what you
theory.
need, a good foundation of what you need. But any real life experience that you can get, borrow a test kit for the weekend and practice, with a child or with your own child, is really important, just so that you kind of get the day to day, because that's something that you don't necessarily learn in school, is the day to day and what you're required to do, and even researching different school districts and what their requirements are for their
Expectations.
diagnosticians. Yes. What their job descriptions are for their diagnosticians as well, so that you can, kind of see where you think you might best fit. So.
And actually, that reminds me, that brings us to another very important point, the importance of file compliance.
Yes.
Getting familiar with those files, those forms that need to be in the files, and they need to be signed, and everything needs to be in compliance, because it's very strict, and you do get audited, and
Right.
and you need to have everything in order so that you can ultimately meet the needs of the kids, and make sure that everything, like I said, is in order and ready to go.
Right, absolutely.
Okay, well, this concludes our interview here from Berry Elementary. Thank you very much for joining us, and back to you, Dr. Reed.